Coming up today, we're chatting with Nicole from Jenny's Place about their upcoming Empowered Walk.
We'd love to see as many people there as possible on the 26th of November.
I'll tell you about this year's Christmas Under the Stars, and Dan will tell you about the BWS Cool Room Show, which is coming to Newey. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai Land, this is The Good Stuff, powered by BYD on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good.
good stuff.
The good stuff. Thanks for letting me take over your screen once again this afternoon. Newcastle Permanent's Christmas Under the Stars will once again take over King Edward Park this December. There'll be free popcorn to munch on during the movie, local bands playing carols, and a stack of free activities to keep the kids entertained through the night. And, drum roll please, this year's movie is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. To find out more, head on over to newcastlelive.com.au.
Good.
Today, we chat with Nicole from Jenny's Place about the Empowered Walk, which is taking place on Sunday, November 26th. We really want everyone to get along to this one. It's only a 6K loop. It'll take a couple of hours out of your Sunday, and it's raising funds and awareness for Jenny's Place and the work they do to help survivors of domestic violence. Let's start off by talking about the big day. What can we expect from the start line to the finish celebrations?
Yeah, absolutely. We have lots going on the morning of the Empowered Walk. People tend to start arriving at around 8 for, a barbecue, some brekkie, a cup of coffee. They grab their T-shirts and then, they hit the pavement and we kick off at 9 o'clock. We wanted to make it an event where the family could come and really enjoy themselves and have a Sunday morning outing, but with a social cause. So there's a little bit of both. There's a sombre topic, of course, of domestic violence in our community, and some of the difficult realities of what we face in our community in relation to domestic violence. But it's also an opportunity to come together and celebrate the people who are supporting victims of domestic violence and to support those victims so that they feel that they have a tribe of people behind them to really get them through the trauma and, begin their new life.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much courage it would take to walk in the Empowered Walk as a survivor or as someone that is supporting other survivors. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. But we do have a lot of women who join us for the walk who have been through it and who are feeling really empowered by the fact, hence the name, by the fact that they have come through it and they've been able to be stronger at the end of it because of the support they've received along the way. So for them too, it's not only an acknowledgement of their own strength, but also a chance to thank the community for supporting them.
Do you find that the Empowered Walk is a safe space for people that are currently going through domestic violence to reach out and find community?
I think that's one of the things that we really want the walk to achieve, is to be able to bring the community together. So if somebody is going through it currently and they're not feeling quite sure of their situation or confident to come forward, hopefully that really visual show of support will give them the courage to reach out for help. That's our hope.
Yeah.
But also too, part of the process is to raise awareness around the red flags of domestic violence and the incidents and impacts. So what does it look like? What are the things that we as family and friends need to look out for the people in our lives to keep them safe? And also, importantly, to really raise the volume on let's put an end to this. It's time to turn the statistics in a downward direction.
Absolutely. And I also saw that it's going to be quite an accessible day. It's a 6-kilometre loop walk.
Yep.
And the thing that got me really excited is that not only do you get a T-shirt, but if you bring your dog along, you can also get a little bandana for your dog.
That's right. We had so many poochers show up last year with their families.
Yeah.
And, some of the families were putting Empowered Walk T-shirts on their dogs and it was quite fun to watch. So we thought, next year we need something that's really just for the dogs. So we've come up with this cute little bandana.
Who would you like to see come out this year?
We'd really love to see more men. To get the blokes there supporting the walk is really important because it's a whole of society issue. And the more people that we can see across, all different, diverse backgrounds is really important. But, to see some blokes walking alongside their children, their families is, terrific.
So this is definitely an issue that needs to be addressed as soon as possible and resolved. Can we talk about some of the statistics that have come out locally?
Yes, we've recently seen through the latest Bureau of Crime and Research Statistics report released in June, I think this year, that domestic violence continues to increase in our region. Sadly, DV and sexual assault are the only two major crime categories that continue in an upward trend. So we really need to get control of that quickly. In our immediate region, Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, over the last 5 years, we've seen an increase in DV assaults by 14.3%, I think it is, sorry. And similar figures for the Hunter, slightly higher. So definitely we need to see the statistics shift in a downward direction, and that comes with social change, but also with systemic change. But of course, social change has a big role to play in raising the volume on the issue and really creating that need for systemic change.
Is there anything in particular that's making these statistics rise, or?
It's very hard to say. What we do know as a service is that while those statistics that I just mentioned are important to us, what we also know is that across Australia around 60% of domestic assaults go unreported. So the actual incidence is in fact way higher than what the police reports would indicate. So in terms of why are we continuing to not be able to get control of this social issue, I just wanted to say that one of the things that we find is potentially, is it that people are reporting more often because they feel like that there are more social services and safety measures in place for them to report? Or is it that the pressures of society, economic crisis, COVID, definitely, there was a huge peak in domestic violence over the COVID lockdown period, and we've seen it continue to rise since. So is it that those added complexities of life that, essentially create a bit of a pressure cooker effect for people who are feeling already the strains of life, and that then manifests in violence? We don't know the answer, quite simply, but unfortunately the statistics continue to rise, and it's just a tragedy that we can't do something more meaningful about that.
But it does sound like people are feeling more supported to come forward.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, of course, more funding is needed always so that we can help more people going through this. Domestic violence is the leading cause of homelessness for women. So we're seeing as a service an increasing number of people right now who are showing up with nowhere to go. And so they either choose to stay in a violent relationship or go back to one in order to have a house and a roof over their heads for themselves and their children. We don't want to see that. We want to see more people coming forward who say, look, we need out and we need a safe place to go, and being able to provide that is really important.
Obviously, we want everyone to come along to the Empowered Walk because it's going to be an awesome day, but is there anything that our community can do to help Jenny's Place at the moment?
As you said, we'd love to see as many people there as possible on the 26th of November. But other ways we can support is just by starting conversations, having those difficult conversations with family and friends around domestic violence and the incidence and the impact of it, so that more people are aware of what to look for and how to reach out for help when they need help. That's the most important thing, because we are a service that can help in lots of ways. It's not just crisis accommodation, it's not just transitional housing, although those two things are really important, but there's so much more that we can offer as a service to support people going through this. So we really encourage people to ask for help, even if it's just clarification around how they're feeling and what they can do.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's been great to chat.
Thank you for having me.
This is where it sounds good.
Good stuff.
Aussie beverage barons BWS will bring their Cool Room music series to Newcastle later this month. On the bill for the local show is Memphis LK, Tate McGregor, and absolute wax weapon, DJ Squeef. The BWS Cool Room, which just quietly is actually a fridge, will roll into Newcastle on the 23rd of November. To find out more and to head into a little sneaky giveaway we're doing for a double pass, head to newcastlelive.com.au.
Good
Stuff.
That's it for the good stuff today. I'd love to say a big thank you to Nicole from Jenny's Place for joining us. I hope to see you at the Empowered Walk on Sunday, the 26th of November. And we'll see you tomorrow from 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.